the screen sharing on Skype so I can see stuff?
I should do that. Yeah. Let me just start that. Share screens. Share
We're
this
going to be
one.
talking about the news.
We're going to be talking about a few things today. Let me let you guys know of our agenda. So first of all, we're starting with some news. We've got a few things from Nintendo today because Nintendo had a Nintendo Direct yesterday. We also have some Sony news. They recently acquired some stuff that we want to talk about, some patents. And Anita Sarkeesian, who we personally here don't have a huge problem with, but you know, we just want to talk about her new stuff because I think it's a good thing. And I think it might be a good thing for people who even aren't so much a fan of her for certain reasons. So let's get right into the news. Okay? Rob, are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Let's hop right into the news with the first news of the day, Nintendo's Nintendo Direct. So, what comes with this Nintendo Direct is, one, we've got Lucas and Mewtwo joining...
We've got Lucas.
Joining Super Smash Brothers. We've got Mewtwo and Lucas.
Boy.
That's fine, I guess. I didn't... You know, you played Melee, right? You played Brawl?
Absolutely, I did.
Did Lucas seem that different to you from other...
he had a notably different moveset from...
to Ness?
Ness, yeah.
What was different about it?
I don't remember.
You say it's notably different, but you have no notes.
That I made note of it. I didn't make note of the specifics.
Okay, that's fair, that's fair. I'll give you that. So we've got Lucas and Ness joining Super Smash Bros. The Wii U Virtual Console is getting some new N64 and DS games. So you can now use the Nintendo Wii U has this big gamepad, as you probably know, which is, you know, normal. Yeah, Rob is absolutely flipping his crap right now, says Sir Briz. Hello, Sir Briz.
Excuse. Hello, Sir Briz.
Did he show up on the stream? I don't know. Hey,
I don't know.
Let's give it a shot. Hello.
He did for a second.
Good. It's like a 10-second cooldown, so you get 10 seconds of time. Rob is absolutely flipping his crap right now. What? Are you flipping your crap? You're mad at me?
I'm mad because you said that Ness had a similar moveset to Lucas.
That's fair. So you can now play DS games on your Wii U gamepad. Because that has a touchscreen, that makes sense. You know, it absolutely makes sense.
Sure.
We're going to be watching a little bit of this Nintendo Direct shortly after we kind of wrap up the show. We want to just let you guys see our reactions to how awkward and like childish these things are.
I haven't seen the last 12 minutes of it.
Yeah, no, neither have I. So over here, let me just click over here. We have the Nintendo Direct here paused at 36 minutes and 17 seconds, both of us. And after the show, if you want to stick around...
Oh, but wait, here's the thing. Can you... Oh, yeah, no, it'll show up on... The sound will show up on Twitch, yeah.
Oh, it absolutely will.
Yeah, it will. Okay, never mind.
So there's some other stuff happening. Mario Maker is getting its release with the 30th anniversary of Super Mario Brothers, which is really cool. You know, good for Nintendo for sticking around for 30 years. They've been around for a lot longer as a non-video game company.
Yeah.
Nintendo used to be like a card company and like a poker company. I think they sold other products. Yeah, it's really weird. Read into Nintendo. They have quite a history there.
They did some poking.
Yeah, they did some poking, some Mon. Mon, of course, being the Japanese food available only in Japan.
Yeah, pocket.
The adorable Yoshi's Woolly World is coming this fall. I highly recommend you guys watch this Nintendo Direct. If only
gold.
It's comedy gold. It's an absolute cringe fest, and I mean, if you're into Nintendo, it does have actual information there too. Splatoon will release on May 29th. They're getting their own amiibos for Splatoon.
I'm sorry, amiibo.
Amiibo, right. Sorry, the plural of amiibo is amiibo.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So that's something. We lost all our viewers. All of them.
They were
we got a follow from Carlos D93. Thank you very much, Carlos D.
Carlos,
93.
Suck your dick.
Carlos, is that you? It was absolutely my friend who's here.
Okay.
Is that an army of amiibo? It quite possibly is.
Amiibo is the plural of amiibo.
Mm-hmm. It is indeed. Let me move that.
Fundamentals. Absolutely.
So, not much else is going on here today.
Yeah.
They're adding some Mario Kart 8 DLC. It's getting some Animal Crossing stuff.
Thank God.
So that's something. This isn't anything that really tickles my fancy, Rob. How about yours?
I'm gonna go ahead and color my fancy tickled.
You're coloring your fancy tickled.
Absolutely, I am.
I'm coloring my fancy untickled.
I'm specifically really excited about the VIP. I've already forgotten.
I know. Okay, so I think like there's some software that comes with the Wii U that I think
the Street Pass.
Street Pass. It comes with the DS.
Street Pass.
They're adding some VIP DLC.
Amiibo Poke Diamonds is what I'm excited about.
It's all very obtuse. Nintendo. We were watching this earlier today together, and Nintendo is just a strange. It's a very strange company, and one that it's really clear how out of touch they are with how they communicate what's going on.
Yeah.
You know,
Agreed.
I don't want to linger on that too much, but
we did talk a lot about Nintendo last week.
We talked a lot about Nintendo last week. On Monday. If you want to check that out, that's youtube.com/thenapkins. Same spelling as what you're on right now. The same Twitch stream spelling.
If it makes it simpler, it's Thek Napkins.
Yeah, Thek Napkins. Let me just put it in the chat right now. /the napkins. Excuse me. So that's where to go if you want to see past broadcasts.
Of which there is currently one.
One, yes, true. So are you good with this news, Rob? Do you think we're good to move on?
Let's move on.
There was a lot of news for Nintendo. Oh, okay. And now we're moving on to Sony. Sony's news. There's less stuff going on here, but it is somewhat interesting. So, Sony acquires cloud gaming tech from game streaming service OnLive. Now, if you remember, Sony, I think it was about a year ago, maybe a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, acquired a streaming service called Gaikai. We have Demaster67 asking, "What's up, boys?" And to that I say, "What's up?" Right back to you. I'm doing great. We're just talking about some news. We're talking about some stuff, and later on in the show we're going to be talking about some MOBAs. Even if you're not interested in MOBAs, I think we're going to have some fairly interesting conversation for you. Can you agree, Rob?
Absolutely.
All right. So Sony acquires OnLive, right? And
yes.
They already acquired Gaikai, which was OnLive's main competitor at the time. So it's kind of interesting watching my sweet talk show while drinking some... More power to you. I'm not going to repeat that, but you know what? You're allowed to say whatever you want. This is... Oh.
Watching my sweet talk show while drinking some eggnog.
Fair.
I'm not afraid of anything.
Fair. No.
You pieces of shit.
Wow.
Sorry.
Crude, rude, and
a little lewd.
A little lewd. All right.
Absolutely a little lewd.
So they acquired OnLive, which is kind of Sony owning all of the big players as far as game streaming goes. Sony just kind of bought them all up, and that's really got something to it. You know, PlayStation has this thing called PlayStation Now, which is essentially game streaming for all of their past titles. Not all of them, they're not all up, but like in place of backwards compatibility with PS4 to PS3, they've opted for this PlayStation Now because they changed CPU architectures. I know this is getting a little technical, everybody, but in place of you know, offering backwards compatibility by essentially what they would have had to do was put a PS3 into a PS4, which would have made it, of course, fatter, more expensive. They've opted for instead just streaming the games through PlayStation Now. And they now own both Gaikai, which is who they bought in 2012, so 3 years ago, and OnLive, which was a bigger player at the time. I think let's look at the details of this. Sony Computer Entertainment is they acquired the technology patents behind OnLive, so they don't own OnLive, I don't think, but they do own their patents, which will protect them. Probably doing similar things to OnLive, which was fairly successful.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of this, Rob? Is this
I'm
bode well?
extremely interested to see what they do with this.
Okay, I think.
And the other things that they've gotten, including Gaikai.
So I think you're wrong to be interested because they've already done it.
What have they done?
PlayStation Now is real.
Oh wait, PlayStation Now is the thing that they're doing with it?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. So now they've just got more what?
More probably. I guess yeah, more
or
options. If they acquired patents, I'm assuming
more PlayStation 2s for us to remotely use.
Exactly. I think they just acquired more, like they can use new methods, which may make it faster, may make it a little more secure, maybe more stable, maybe less latency.
Sure.
Stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I didn't know that. I've never used PlayStation Now.
Now, PlayStation Now is a pretty cool service. It's exactly what it sounds like. You just stream your PlayStation games to your PS4, or any device, really. You can do it to your Vita as well. For those of you who own a PlayStation Vita, like myself. But if it's really expensive.
Is it?
You know, if you go through the prices of PlayStation Now games, it's kind of stupidly expensive, I think.
Give me an example.
It's all. First of all, you can't own the games ever, or maybe you. Let's take a look. Let's go to the PlayStation Store right now, and let's take a look at PlayStation Now, and let's talk about whether or not this is a viable service.
Give it to me.
I'll give it to you.
Give it to me, baby. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, anyone wondering what this big white square is?
That's the chat box.
That's the chat box. It's backwards compatibility on roids, says Daymaster.
I'd rather they keep it on the roof.
Absolutely, I would.
I think it was fine up on the roof. I don't know why they're moving it.
Where's PlayStation Now? PlayStation Plus. Maybe you can't search it on the website here. But if you go to your PlayStation 4 or your PlayStation 3, you can check out the PlayStation Now on the PSN and see that the prices are a bit high. You know, here, let's click play here and see if it. Nope. Doesn't appear to be any offerings of PlayStation Now. Let's just look at PlayStation Now prices. PlayStation Now subscription. So they have added a subscription program which is somewhat similar to Netflix, where you get access to a bunch of games for
free.
$45 a year.
Oh.
Sorry, $45 a month. It's about $15 a month.
Is it 45 or 15?
Well, $45 a month for 3 months. Sorry. Which translates to $15 per month. Know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So let's take a look at this video, Rob. I'm sure it's just going to be background music, so you're gonna be absolutely on point with what's going on here if you just pay attention. It's just background music. GN Boys, Rob, you're my bae.
Stop it, you.
I'm going to allow this site to be full screen. So you can play things like Uncharted 1, Bioshock Infinite, Batman Arkham City. It's an all-you-can-play subscription.
Huh. Basketball.
Ratchet and Clank Into the Nexus. Spelunky. 100 plus PlayStation 3 games.
More than
The
100.
Last of Us. XCOM Enemy Within. God of War Ask Kenshin. And we get a little PlayStation symbol here. All you can play 100 plus PS3 games to start. Get the PS4 app to start your free trial, Rob.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go do that.
Okay.
Well,
See ya.
See you guys.
Does PS Now $15 for both PSO and Now, or is it $25 together? So you're talking about PS Plus, right? So PS Plus is a $50 a year subscription, and that's its own thing. And that's, you know, that comes with its own faults and its own pluses. It comes with free games every few months, and that's fine. But this is a separate cost. This subscription service is $45 every 3 months.
For
so
me,
$15 a month.
not worth.
Not worth it. Yeah, I agree. But the thing is, I've had a PS3.
I currently have one.
I still do, absolutely. And I don't
Right behind
think.
me over there. It's hooked up to that Sony Bravia.
I think maybe for someone who the PS4 is their first PlayStation console, this might be worth it. You know,
So, like, we're talking about like a child.
like a child or an Xbox boy. You know, who bought a PS4.
An ex-boy, of course.
An ex-boy. Who bought a PS4 and is thinking like, all right, I got to catch up. I got to catch up on these PlayStation IPs, so to speak.
Yes.
So I'm gonna buy PS Now. I'm gonna pay $45 one time, and for these.
You're doing that right now?
And for these for these next 3 months, I'm just gonna play through these PS3 games, and I'm gonna catch up. I think that's a great service, and I think that's great.
Okay.
What do you think, Rob? Do you think that's a good idea?
For you?
For me.
Sure.
Okay. Let's move on to our next story, Rob.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Wait. Yes.
Okay. So Anita Sarkeesian, somewhat infamous name in the video game industry, as you know, she is a woman, which
She is. She is a female. She has a vagina.
And the thing about women in the games industry
Is they're not allowed.
they're not allowed, and we hate them.
That's what we hate.
And we want them to get out.
We get out of here. Girls? No girls allowed. That's what it says on the front of my fort.
Oh yeah, I have my pillow fort. I got a piece of paper from my mom's printer, and I put "No Girls Allowed" on it in crayon.
Filthy cootie havers is what they are.
Absolutely, it's not fair.
Disgusting.
It's not fair for them to be here because
Because
that's
they
absolutely
mess with the ethics in my
unfair.
game journalism.
So, Daymaster, here's the thing: why haven't you subscribed?
Followed. He means
Followed.
followed.
I don't support subscribers yet because I'm not big. I'm not a big boy. You gotta follow me, Daymaster. And he says, and bro.
Hey, Demaster.
This is absolutely our worst episode so far.
Out of the two of them.
Out of the two of them, it's our worst.
What's
And that's
bad about
why.
it?
That's why. It
Me?
Would be, no, me. Anyway, so she's starting a new series called Positive Female Characters
thanks,
in
bud.
Video Games.
Yeah.
We got a new follower, Daymaster. Look at this. That's great. Thanks, man. Thanks for joining. So,
sure
Anita
it's awesome.
Sarkeesian, somewhat infamous in the games industry as being a woman, and she's famous or infamous, depending on your view, for her tropes versus women in video game series.
Yeah, she doesn't. She has a whole series where she. I mean, I could say criticize
Yeah, criticize mostly.
She criticizes games that make use of
Certain tropes.
ill-informed or kind of antiquated tropes involving female characters.
Mm-hmm.
I think
I
that's
think
a
so,
fair
too.
way to put it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the problem people had with that series is it was very negative. It was very judgmental.
Mhm.
I fairly to an extent, but there wasn't a lot
I
of
watched it.
praise for. Yeah.
I thought it was good.
Now
Well-
I didn't agree with all of it. I think some of it somewhat appeared as if she hadn't even played the games in some instances.
Does she have to though?
Well, yeah, I think so to get the whole kind
'Cause-
of experience and really see if the
From
tropes
what
are.
from what I watched, it was pretty accurate.
Sure, I watched the one with Watch Dogs in it, and
I didn't watch that one.
okay, so there were some points that I was like, oh, absolutely, this is totally founded, but there were some things where it's like, well, these aren't things that you come across very often, or things that are absolutely not only happening to women in this game, or things like that. So I didn't agree with all of them. I don't agree with her on every point, certainly.
Okay.
But this new series, Positive Female Characters in Video Games, offers a bit of an alternate view. It's something a little more positive, something that's praising games that do well. And I think this is something that more people might be able to agree with. Now, Demaster67.
We currently do not have a donation infrastructure.
We don't have a donation infrastructure, and we're thinking of adding one if we get big enough. So tell your friends, invite your friends to
When
come
we
watch
get
us.
people coming in and they're like, "Hey, you guys deserve cash,"
We're thinking of starting a Patreon,
then we might, put something.
maybe a Kickstarter,
Right now, I don't
maybe,
think it would be
a GoFundMe. Go fund yourself.
Go kickstart me a sandwich.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? Please go kickstart me a Subway
So
gift
we
card.
don't have. Yes, we don't want your money right now. Well,
Yeah,
we
don't worry
absolutely
about it,
do.
pal.
We absolutely want your money. Let's be clear.
Just watch
I
and
want
enjoy.
your money. I really want it.
Anita, back to the topic.
Back to the topic. I want your
Calm
money.
down, Phil.
I really want it. I need to be
calm
clear.
down.
I want
Calm
that
down.
money. I'll invite my Serbian brothers to donate millions.
Oh boy.
I hope so. Anyway, so yeah, the topic at hand. She started a new series. Go check it out if you'd like. It's something positive. The first episode is about Sword and Sorcery EP, which was.
How long is it?
It's. Let's take a look. 7 minutes and 24 seconds.
Okay.
I don't want to watch the whole thing right now, but it's a good video. I watched most of it, and I was like, all right. And then she said like, oh, there are spoilers after this, so I was like, okay, I don't want to watch that. But for anyone who is maybe accusing her, like me, for some of her tropes versus women videos, that it doesn't seem like you really played this game. It's very clear she played the game. She has a deep understanding of it, and that she has a love for this game for more reasons than it just having a positive female character in it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is both a good game and a positive view of female characters in video games. Good night, boys. I'm going to bed. Hey, later, Demaster. I'm happy you joined us. I hope you'll join us. We do this every Monday and Thursday at 11:59 p.m. We're going to be on a journey, absolutely. All right.
Thanks, Demaster. We hope to see you again, buddy.
So anyway, Rob, if you don't have anything else to say about this, that was the news for today.
I mean, there's more to be said about Anita Sarkeesian
Sure.
than just are her videos good or bad. I don't know if it's something worth talking about tonight. I think that we could Dignog. I think that we could go on a lot longer about it. Because I think that the way the whole Gamergate thing
So
was just fucking embarrassing.
Gamergate is enormous, and I really don't know enough about it. It's such a nebulous concept that they've kind of laid down. I don't know what they're really asking for. I've heard it's about ethics in game journalism.
Oh, boy.
But, the thing is, I just don't know what that means. Does that mean we shouldn't have women in games journalism? Because that seems to be what they're implying.
No, okay, so this is my understanding of it, is that there's a lady who made a video game.
Zoe Quinn.
Yes, Zoe Quinn.
Mm-hmm.
She made a video game, and good night to Maester. Zoe made a video game, and it was, I don't know if it was good or bad, but
it was called Depression Quest, right?
Depression Quest. It was all about kind of overcoming depression. You play as this character, and you have to make these choices. I never played it.
Nor did I. Seemed
So, what happened was she had this ex-boyfriend who she... Excuse me. She had this ex-boyfriend who she had scorned quite thoroughly. And he wrote... It doesn't matter.
Okay.
He decided to write basically a manifesto about how horrible she is and how everything she does is bad and nobody should ever like her ever. And it snowballed into this movement, basically, where people discovered that she had a relationship with this guy who worked at a gaming journalism site.
Kotaku. Or...
Was it Kotaku?
It was something.
Kotaku! And from there, it became this whole games journalism thing. Blah, 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 blah. And
now,
then,
here's the thing, Rob. From what I put together, is people really had a problem with Zoe Quinn. When she had a relationship with a man at Kotaku who wrote positively about Depression Quest.
Yes.
And they were accusing Zoe Quinn of sleeping with this guy to get a good review. But if it's about ethics in game journalism, shouldn't we be more pissed at the guy who wrote about this in exchange for sexual favors? If that really happened. Now these are kind of... this is unfounded evidence.
That is all speculation.
But that is certainly what is being speculated. And if that's the case, isn't the guilty partner the journalist?
Yes, which is why people say that it's about ethics in gaming journalism. But that's not what it's about at all.
Okay.
What it's about is this guy who got hurt, and he got mad, and he got a bunch of other people to get mad with him. And eventually, women started getting death threats. Their families started getting harassed.
Oh yeah, Anita Sarkeesian was going to do a talk somewhere, and was they were getting bomb threats and had to cancel.
And it's fucking embarrassing.
Yeah, that's a real bummer. Now,
we could prepare a longer treatise.
Yeah, let's talk. We'll talk about Gamergate at some point, but I really want to see
Gamergate because we're kind of in the post Gamergate.
We are, yeah. So I'd be interested in reading a full expose on it, because it seems like every opinion seems to differ on it. I couldn't find. I was trying to see I was seeing hashtag Gamergate all over the place, but I had no idea what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
And I could never find a straightforward answer as to what was going on. I could never find anything that seemed to...
There were a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, there were a lot of moving parts and a lot of differing opinions. It was much like Occupy Wall Street, in a sense, in that, I couldn't figure out, okay, what's the central message of this?
Yeah.
Oh, there's, a ton of different messages. So what is this thing? You're putting it all under this blanket term of Gamergate, but it means all this different stuff, and there's no unified message. It was very difficult to kind of put together what was going on.
We could probably do a whole hour on Gamergate.
We absolutely probably could.
Let's move on. Let's move forward.
Let's move on now, though, because I'm not that informed. So, on the agenda for this week, Rob, is Moba Talk.
MOBAs.
We're going to talk about MOBAs a little bit.
Let's talk about MOBAs.
So we played a few MOBAs this week. We were trying to kind of expand our horizons. Me and Rob were mostly Dota players, and
Still are.
still are absolutely. And we really love Dota and a lot of things. Hey,
Welcome
back, dear
DA
master.
8767.
Hungover AF. Hey, man,
Woo!
I'm with you.
Welcome back, buddy.
In that I will be. Okay. No. We're talking about MOBAs now. Dota 2.
Bananas.
Dota 2 is what we were huge fans of, for the most part. Now,
Yes.
I had played League before Dota. My first MOBA was League of Legends. I liked it. It was a bummer that you had to work through unlocking every champion, and you had to level up to level 30 to really reach your full potential. And I'm still only level 23, and it's a real grind, Rob. It's a real grind to get to level 30.
Sure.
Especially when you're playing with people who are level 30, because then you're going up against people who are level 30, and you're at a statistical disadvantage.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Explain to me what happens at level 30.
So at level 30, you have basically unlocked everything you can unlock. In League, you have your champions. You also have two kind of out-of-game things that affect your in-game statistics. You have one thing that is mastery pages, which is essentially like a skill tree that there's 3 categories, and they affect your stats. So you can get lifesteal, you can get something, you can get something else. And at level 30, you have the most amount of points to put into the skill tree. Okay. And the other thing is rune pages, which you buy with the same currency that you use to buy champions. And at level 30, you have basically the most ability to fill up a rune page with lifesteal or physical damage or defense or whatever. League is like Dota's annoying little brother that wants to be the favorite child. I'm gonna say no comment, but I'm gonna
Didn't
leave.
it come first though?
I'm gonna leave. League did not come before Dota.
Dota 2.
Oh, Dota 2, sure, but Dota. So League came out of a
Nobody
few
was
Dota.
playing Dota when League came out, right? Were people still
You're
playing
wrong.
Warcraft
You are
3?
so wrong, Rob. A
People
lot
were
of
still-
people were playing Dota.
People were still launching Warcraft 3 and playing Dota.
Oh yeah, and people still are.
Okay, never mind. I stand corrected.
Yeah, it's not nearly as much because of Dota 2 now, but yeah, no, Dota was still widely popular, and
Okay.
then a couple of the Dota developers left and created League of Legends, and it got pretty big. It got very big, but I'm just saying that because I hate League. I don't hate League. I go back and play every once in a while. I have a good time. Now is actually the best time to play League. Like right now is the best time to play League because they have their
Alright,
April
so
Fools.
I'm gonna just.
Go ahead and go play some League. Go.
I'm gonna go play some League because you
Okay.
said right now.
Go for it. Get out. Get out. So now is the best time to play League, Rob, because they're having their April Fools event. And their April Fools event is called URF mode.
URF mode?
URF standing for Ultra Rapid Fire. And Ultra Rapid Fire mode is essentially all cooldowns are reduced. You have unlimited mana. You move faster. You just get this. Everyone gets this ridiculous buff, and it just makes the game this like nonsensical, silly game. And it's a lot of fun. And masteries and rune pages don't mean anything in this mode because it's just so ridiculous to begin with.
So ridiculous, yeah.
It's a lot of fun though.
Fun. Yeah.
But it's a limited time thing.
Limited time thing. That's true.
Shut up.
That's what I was gonna say.
Stop this. Anyway, I much prefer Dota.
As do I.
Absolutely do.
I have played League. Very briefly.
Mhm.
I love Dota though.
No, I love Dota.
Dota is what I started with. Dota is what I can't really get away from Dota. Dota 2.
Now, there's a lot of things that Dota does better than any other MOBA. And I think that's with, first and foremost, teaching the player things while in-game. So, the first and most important thing, I think, and not everyone agrees with me on this, but I think this is like the hugest, most important thing that Dota does is that it's built like an RTS, where you can click on any unit and you can see their abilities. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you are in lane, laning against a hero that you might not know too much about, you can click on an enemy hero, and it highlights them in the place where you usually see your abilities, because you've selected them. It's built as an RTS, where the unit you select is the unit you're seeing.
Yep.
And that's not like you can control them, but you get to see what's going on with them.
You can kind of get a briefing on their ability.
You can see their items.
Yep.
And alert your fellow players to their items.
That they have this item.
And you can also roll over their abilities and see what's going on.
Yeah.
In League, the only way to really see an enemy player's abilities is to die to that enemy while they are using that ability to kill you. Then you can look at the death recap and roll over to see what's going on. And I think Dota really owns that because you can find this out before dying. You can see what you're up against, and you can see what to be aware of and be wary of before dying. And that's a way better way to learn because you're not pissing off your teammates by dying. Whereas in League, you need to die to learn.
Yes.
And in other MOBAs, you need to Alt-Tab and read up to learn. And we'll get to that later. We played a new MOBA recently.
Two new MOBAs.
Two new MOBAs. But one of them in particular, and let's be fair, it is in beta, doesn't have a death cap, doesn't have clicking to learn. Another thing I think Dota does really well is it keeps the action in the lanes with the courier. So in League of Legends, you need to go back in order to buy items. You need to go back to your base to buy items. And you can do this at any time with no cost. You can do this at any time for no cost, but that does mean you need to walk back into your lane. So if you're on a kill streak, you can't really beef up your items until you back up and get off of your momentum.
Yeah.
Which comes with a set of issues, most notably momentum breaking.
Now, let's talk about Heroes of the Storm.
Okay.
How do you feel about Heroes of the Storm?
I want to be fair to it, because it is still in beta.
Sure.
But there are certain things in Heroes of the Storm that I don't think can be fixed.
Okay.
The feel of the game, I think, is probably locked. And that game feels really weak. There's not a sense of impact with any skills I've used in that game.
Yeah. So
there's no courier in LoL, League of Legends, Demaster.
So I just recently played a couple of games of Heroes of the Storm.
For the first time.
Not enough to judge a game on.
But do you feel like you want to go back at this point?
No, I absolutely don't want to.
Now,
I will to get to because I really want to give it a fair shot. Right now, the beta is poorly optimized on my shitty computer.
And that's a real.
But like my computer can play a lot of stuff pretty well.
You can play Evolve.
I can play Evolve.
If you can play Evolve and
fine.
you can't play Heroes of the Storm, that's a problem.
Yeah.
You can play Dota.
Yeah, I can play Dota. I can play Infinite Crisis. I'll probably be able to play Smite. But so I get bad frame rates in that game. And coming out of Dota, Heroes felt extremely distant. Like nothing. Like I wasn't connected to anything that was happening. It was like I was watching a video of a game.
I feel the same way, and I've played a few heroes in Heroes of the Storm. I'm level 6. I don't know what the max level is, but I'm level 6, whatever that means to anyone watching. Yeah. And I've never felt like I was the hero of the team. I never felt as though I was doing really well. I never felt as though I was carrying the team.
Yeah.
There's a real lack of a sense of importance in Heroes of the Storm, I think. And it's that to some extent plays up the team factor, but in a lot of extents, I
feel close with my team.
Yeah,
I'll give you that. But I feel close to my team in Dota.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I don't think.
You know what I mean?
I don't think it's any more team oriented or team focused than Dota or
Here's
League or
here's
any other MOBA.
here's where I kind of landed on it. It felt like baby's first MOBA.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It felt like it was a MOBA with the training wheels still on, and I didn't enjoy it at all
Mm-hmm.
because I couldn't do any of my sweet BMX tricks because the training wheels were on the bike.
I know. And I mean, I understand trying to make a Blizzard. I'm talking to you now. Okay, Blizzard. I understand trying to make a casual MOBA. I really do. You know, League is not easy for new players. Dota is absolutely not easy for new players. But you don't need to take away depth to make a MOBA casual and more accessible. And we'll get into that with Infinite Crisis, but
maybe they want to like corner the market on easy MMO or on easy MOBAs, right?
maybe, yeah.
Like the other MOBAs are this MOBA. And
Now
that
here's
MOBA, right? Like,
here's my thought on that. Does Blizzard need to corner any market?
Yeah, dude, they're late in the MOBA game.
Sure, but don't you think a Blizzard MOBA carries enough clout that it'll go somewhere? And it certainly has,
sure.
by having Blizzard's name on.
But I think it's like all this stuff we're seeing with Nintendo, where they want to have this specific market, right? They want to have this specific audience that they're going for. Kids. I mean, I'm not saying Blizzard right now, but kids and families and stuff like that. It's the same kind of thing to me. That's kind of what I'm seeing with Heroes of the Storm, and maybe like Hearthstone as well.
Yeah.
It's this sort of
It's like baby's first TCG.
brand, like this casual version of like a typically more hardcore thing.
Now, I want to be clear to our viewers. Casual, we don't use casual as a expletive here.
I am a casual gamer.
I'm not, but I'm a fucking
game,
pro.
I game a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm a casual.
No. And I mean, I play my games on medium. You know, I don't actively seek difficult, but I can really appreciate something with depth, like Dota.
Yeah.
I can really appreciate something with depth, like Dark Souls. And I've beaten Dark Souls, and I've beaten Bloodborne. Blizzard does want to corner markets. They cornered the market on virtual card games so hard that Riot canceled theirs. Oh, I didn't know Riot had one in development. That's interesting.
Nailed it. I'm right.
I think Blizzard really knocked Scrolls, Mojang's card game, to the curb with Hearthstone. Certainly.
Yeah.
Thanks for showing up, Pat. Thanks for moderating, by the way.
Let's move on to Infinite Crisis.
Yeah, sure.
Let's keep this moving.
One more point I want to make on Heroes of the Storm is I think they've taken away depth. Now, something to note with Heroes of the Storm, there's no items in that game. There's no gold, there's no items. Instead, every 4 levels, or 3 levels, you start at level 1, you get one at level 4, one at level 7, one at level 10. It's every 3 levels you get a new ability, or a new modifier to an ability.
It's like a passive.
It's like a passive. There are some active abilities, though, too.
Yeah.
I think this takes away some depth in the sense that there are no items. There's no gold you're collecting. But it adds an amount of depth that I think is somewhat frustrating. Had a rest.
I hope your computer's all right, Pat.
Oh no. I hope you get that sorted out. It adds, I think, a sense of confusion because, one, I think the best way to learn a hero is to play the hero.
Yeah.
And that's why Dota's pricing model, I think, is the best. And I'm not saying that it's the most profitable. League is clearly insanely profitable. And they chose the pricing model they went with. You know, you buy champions, or you can get them with an in-game currency that you obtain slowly, or you have Dota's, which is, you know, you have all champions unlocked from the start. Everything you can buy cannot affect the game in any way. Only cosmetically. Now, Heroes of the Storm, I think the best way to learn a hero is to play the hero. they, the depth in the game, how talents react with the maps and the team comp. Sure. I think there is depth in the game. I'm not saying there's no depth in the game, but I think that the depth they took away with items and that what they replaced it with is sort of problematic because you have these heroes that all have 4 or 5 different choices every 3 levels that you're not necessarily familiar with and you can't find at a glance by clicking on the hero. And they're all very passive and not entirely apparent when you just look at a hero.
You can say that the depth in the game was like shifted, like they moved the skill ceiling over here. But like when you remove features, you're no matter what, you're lowering the skill ceiling.
Yeah.
No matter what.
And I don't think they're shooting for a high skill ceiling. And I don't blame them for that. Now, one more thing, but I think my point with that was I think that creates something that is annoying for new players because they don't necessarily know what is like Demon Hunter's possible skill set. And Demon Hunter has a ton of different combinations now with all of the skills it can get and all the passives it can get. It's like, do they have lifesteal? I have to hit tab and I have to check that. And maybe they won't. And do they're now dealing 1.5% of my health per hit. That's something you really need to like keep up on if you're trying to know when to go into a fight. And I think what MOBAs really come down to, the way to succeed in a MOBA is to pick your battles.
Yes.
You need to know when to go in, and you need to know when to run.
Yep. You need to know when to hold.
And I think Dota does a really good job of making it easy to know when to do those things.
Know when to hold?
The biggest thing being alt-clicking. You can just alt-click on an enemy's weapon, or enemy's item. You can alt-click on an enemy's ability to say, hey, beware, the enemy has this. And that tells your whole team that.
And then you can know when to walk away and when to run.
Exactly. You know, it's easier to figure out within the game when to run and when to engage.
Or when to fold them.
And Dota might have more elements, more depth in a lot of ways, but I think it does a much better job of teaching the player in-game before dying when they can engage. Now, one more question I wanted to ask about Heroes of the Storm, Rob, was if this was your first MOBA, do you think you'd still be into it? Do you think it would get you into MOBAs?
That's hard to say.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really say with much certainty, but if I had to wager a guess, I would say no.
Okay.
If that was my first experience with the MOBA, I would have left very confused.
Mm-hmm.
My first experience with the MOBA was with Dota 2.
Yeah.
But I had
and
you
that's
kind
not
of coaching me.
Mm-hmm.
Like heavy coaching though. But it felt. I don't know how to. It's really hard to say.
In Dota,
but I
there's
feel
a lot,
like Heroes would have left me confused.
Mm-hmm. So a complaint a lot of people have against Dota is that every hero is OP. You know, like every damage dealing ability does a lot of damage, and you know you can die very quickly, and I think that adds a visceral sense to the game. Dota takes time to really learn when you should make your engagements. That's true, because you do need to learn the items. You do need to learn the heroes, but what I was saying about that was that it's easier to learn from within the game because you can read up on an item stats. You can read up on a hero's abilities from within the game before you die. Yeah. What is up, King Taco 20?
King Taco.
Welcome.
King Taco, what's happening? Hit that
hey, here's a tip. Before we continue, Rob, here's a tip for this stream. If you follow, you get to show up on the screen.
Your name shows
and
up on
everybody
the screen.
Gets to see your name. It's insane, dude. Definitely give it a shot. So yeah, I think Dota does a good job, and to the point of where abilities deal a lot of damage, that makes you, as a new player, feel like you're doing something. You know?
Yeah.
Because all of your abilities are like, oh wow, that like took a chunk of his health.
Also, it raises the stakes a lot.
Mm-hmm. It makes it much more of a heart-pounding experience.
Hey, thanks, bud.
Things have an impact. You know what I mean?
Thanks, Sir Briz.
Hello.
You know Sir
Hello.
Briz, right, Rob? He's friends
Do
with
I?
he's friends with me on Steam, and he owns every game.
I didn't know that.
Hey, Sir Briz, add Scoodle. Anyway, yeah, he's a friend of mine on Steam, and whenever I go to a game on the store page, it says friends who own this game, and it's always him. It's always him. That's a great background, very colorful. I'm all about rainbows, bud. That's just me. You know, I have my reasons.
It's literally just him.
It's just me.
So, Infinite Crisis.
Infinite Crisis. Let's move on to Infinite Crisis.
Feelings, opinions, review, preview.
This Demaster guy really has a thing for you, man. I think he loves you.
Did I add you on Steam?
Demaster, confess your love to Rob if you have it.
Confess your undying love for me.
Go ahead. Yes, Left 4 Dead. Great times, Sir Briz. So Infinite Crisis. Infinite Crisis is DC Comics MOBA.
Mm-hmm.
So you can play Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, the Joker, etc. It plays a lot like League of Legends. Very spammy skills, very skill shot based. Yes, Demaster. Demaster has a confession. Let's all listen to this. Confess. Oh, Batman.
Ooh, Batman.
All right, while Demaster works out his confession, let's talk about Infinite Crisis. Now, Infinite Crisis has some problems. It doesn't run very well. Compared to other MOBAs, I don't think it looks very good. He loves you. He's in love. I wish I had a big heart I could put on the screen right now. You know?
I love you too, my
Almost
little nignog.
oh my god.
My little nignog.
Oh my god. Now here's the thing. Let's just have a nice little confession of love here.
Aww.
And let's just take a look at this. Let's just take a look at this love we got here. This beating heart. Let's talk about Infinite Crisis, Rob. So Infinite Crisis, what are your problems with this game, first of all? Let's start with the bad and end with the good.
Okay. Problems with Infinite Crisis.
Mm-hmm.
I don't own all the characters.
Yeah.
I don't like the UI.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like any of the menus.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that there's like 3 different versions of a bunch of different characters, and then some characters are completely omitted.
Mm-hmm. I'll get to that as well.
Those are my complaints.
Okay.
Also, the movement feels a little wishy-washy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have similar complaints. I think I have a problem with there being like multiple versions of the same. Like there's 3 versions of Wonder Woman. There's 4 versions of Superman if you count Krypto the Superdog, which, of course, as we know from Superman's best friend, when Zatanna turns Superman into Krypto, and, you know, he is Krypto the Superdog for a few issues. Sorry. I couldn't pull it off for too long. Superman's best friend, you gotta give me that, dude. Come on, that was great. Superman's best friend? No? Alright, fair. Fair. There's 3 versions of Superman, 3 versions of Batman, 2 versions of the Joker, I think.
No, it's a MOBA like Dota or League of Legends, King Taco.
Yeah, it's a MOBA. It's much like League of Legends. It's most comparable to League of Legends. Like, where's Deathstroke? Where's most of the Teen Titans? Where's there's quite a few notable omissions. Where's Martian Manhunter?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like,
where's Booster Gold?
Yeah. Why are there 3 versions of Batman?
Beetle?
Why are there 3 versions of Wonder
Maxwell
Woman?
Lord?
Why did we add
Ambush Bug. I mean, where are these beloved
Where's Lightning Lad? You know what
household
I'm saying?
names? These are household names.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
My
You know?
mom loves Ambush Bug.
Yeah, but like, yeah, why do we have 3 versions of some heroes? I'm okay with 2. I'm okay with.
Sure. Yeah.
But okay, here's the other thing. Like, we have Nightmare Superman and Mecha Superman, but no Bizarro Superman.
Yeah. And see, the thing is that they make these characters up for that game. That's my main complaint with it, really.
Yeah, Dota heroes are absolutely only OP when they snowball, and every hero is OP when they snowball. But like, I mean, my point that I was trying to make back then regarding Dota was every damage dealing ability feels like it really does something.
Yeah.
It's very visceral. It really feels like it has an impact.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so those are our problems with it. My other problems with it doesn't run very well. It doesn't look very good.
It actually runs perfectly for me.
Oh, really? Yeah, I mean, it runs well. I had a problem where my mouse sensitivity was like ridiculously high, and I had to go edit an INI file to get it to run normally because there's no mouse sensitivity setting in game.
Wow.
And the devs have just like kind of dismissed this. I've looked into it, and the devs are like, it should just be what your computer's set to, and it's like, nope, this is like insanely high, and there's a ton of mouse acceleration. It's a problem with Unreal Engine 3. Like, what I had to change was a look sensitivity, so like it was clearly like some first-person shooter problem.
I was being sarcastic, King Taco.
Yeah, come on.
I'm a giant comic book nerd, so
Yeah.
I know a lot of names.
Where's Gorilla Grodd?
I know a lot of names that I could throw out there that sound ridiculous. But I completely understand why Ambush Bug is not in the Infinite Crisis game.
Where is it Captain Fate?
Captain Fate?
Who's
Oh, you mean Dr. Fate.
Dr. Fate, yeah. Like, he's been pretty big in Young Justice and in...
He's as big as Zatanna, at the very least.
Yeah, I think so, too. There's some weird deep cuts, and there are some weird emissions. Anyway.
Complaints about that aside.
Ambush Nog.
Ambush Nog. Ambush Niggy Noggy. What?
This game also does some really cool things. And it does a lot of things that make it more casual, but add depth.
Yes.
That I really, really respect.
It has a boss as fuck tutorial. No, I'm talking about Dr. Fate. Doctor Strange is a DC character.
So
but
is Dr. Fate.
They are basically the same character, Dr. Fate and Doctor Strange. They're
So,
just
it does things to... It really tried to handle, like, problems that come from League not having a courier, problems that come from League not having denies.
Yes.
They Dotified League while still keeping it as casual as League. And I really respect that.
It separates itself, but it kind of...
It plays very similar to League in how the skills work.
It's in its own little category, and I really like it.
The Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, where are they?
Where are my favorite DC characters? The X-Men.
Where's Captain America?
Where's
Iron Man?
Come on.
Absolutely.
It's got a great tutorial. Fantastic tutorial.
It is the most in-depth tutorial that any MOBA has.
The thing
it's
that it does
also
best
a really grueling
is it
one.
familiarizes you with how your character moves and how you attack things and how the game kind of feels.
It's also very long, though. It takes a while to get into some real action. But that's good. Like, I think that's good for a MOBA, and I do respect that Dota lets you jump in and like go in head first and have a trial by fire against real players. But you can opt into some tutorials in Dota, and they basically just have you playing sniper, right-clicking, and it creeps until they die, which results in you as a normal player. Yeah, bad habits.
Bad habits.
And so Infinite Crisis is like, they tell you it's most important to get the last hit on a creep. But then there's this new system where if you miss a last hit on a creep, the creep will drop a coin that you can grab and still get some money. Not the full amount. You don't get the full last hit amount. But you do get some money. And King Taco, we will be talking more about Mortal Kombat X soon. There was a lot of footage that was released about Mortal Kombat X, Rob, and I want to maybe talk about that on Monday.
Okay.
Just to remind everyone, we do this show every Monday and Thursday at 11:59 p.m. Okay? So Monday nights and Thursday nights, 11:59 p.m., we do the show.
We should talk about that.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to talk about...
Bud.
Hey, thanks, King Taco.
King
Hey,
Taco.
thanks, bud.
Hey, thanks, bud. So, yeah, so you can make up if you didn't get the last hit. You don't get to make up the full amount, but you do get to get a little bit.
And if an enemy misses a last hit,
you get to go stomp on their coin.
And prevent them from getting money. So they added denies in a way that is really easy to understand and easy to pull off.
Yeah.
It comes with a risk. It comes with a reward.
Hey, thanks, bud.
Thank you, Nick Mansfield 93. Thank you very much.
Thanks, man. What a boss.
What a boss. So anyone who tuned in late, by the way, all of this stuff gets reposted to YouTube and will show up as a past broadcast in my channel. I'll also try to cut out the intro "We're starting soon" section and add it as a Twitch highlight. But as you know, those things only last for so long. Twitch doesn't hold recordings for too long. So if you want to check this out on YouTube, you can go ahead and go to youtube.com/thenapkins, the spelling of which is right above my head. And, you can just watch all the old videos there. Those will be kept there forever. Okay, and I get some ad revenue from it, if you know what I mean. Anyway, in League of Legends, you guys want to... In League of Legends, the only thing you can do is last hit. There's no denying of any sort. If you miss a last hit, you miss your money. And if the enemy gets the last hit, they get the last hit. There's nothing you can do to stop that. In Dota, you can last hit your own creeps in order to prevent the enemy team from getting the experience and gold. In an Infinite Crisis, as we're talking about here, if you miss a last hit, it drops a coin. That coin can either be picked up by you or crushed by your enemy. So it's added a deny in a very easy to understand and interesting way.
I think it's slick. I like it a lot.
I think it's really great. Like, Infinite Crisis has a ton of really, really great mechanics going on for it. Another of which, in order to keep the action in the lane, and Heroes of the Storm is something that also keeps the action in the lane. You never need to go back unless you're low on health. But in League of Legends, you do need to go back to get your items. In Infinite Crisis, it's not that old. It actually recently entered open beta.
It just came out. No, it's full release now.
Oh, is it? It's not in beta anymore?
Full game, on Steam, free to play.
Free to play. It's a MOBA.
I
think it's a good first.
Here's something else to note about that tutorial. If you complete the tutorial, you unlock 4 characters free of charge. Free of charge.
So it uses the same monetization system as League, where you can earn in-game currency and buy heroes with that, or you can purchase in-game heroes with real money. Mm-hmm. But it does give you a good chunk of heroes that are all viable to start out with. You get Gaslamp Batman. Gaslamp Batman. It's nothing like DC Universe Online. Gaslight Batman. You get Harley Quinn. You get Green Lantern, and you get Doomsday.
Yeah.
And 6 now. Nick, do you know something about Infinite Crisis that we don't? Because I played through the full tutorial and I only got 4. I know that there are also challenges. If you play 7 games, you unlock regular old Batman.
Plain old boring Batman.
Plain old boring old standard old Batman.
Plain boring Batman.
So that's 5. So I'm missing the one extra that I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Maybe it's a login reward or something. But it's... The other thing they added in order to keep the action in lane, as I was starting to say earlier and then got sidetracked somehow, is you can purchase items from towers, from friendly towers.
Yes.
So if you get under a friendly tower, you can purchase any items from your base.
Fantastic feature.
It keeps you in your lane as long as you're not too low on health.
And it lets you buy things safely.
6
as
free
opposed to the side shop.
DC Legends. I'm sure there's a 6th that I just can't think of.
There might be another one.
Maybe there's 6 per week that are free.
To answer your question a little bit there, King Taco, Infinite Crisis is a MOBA, much like
in
League
the
of
vein
Legends
of League of Legends.
or Dota 2. Look those games up, or Infinite Crisis if you want another kind of game. Yeah, my background's very dark and scary.
Very dull, very boring, very disappointing, I'd say.
Look at that.
Very subpar. I have a
Wow.
litany of adjectives I could use for your.
I quit.
Shh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I quit.
Fine.
So,
Then I quit too.
good luck hosting.
Okay, whatever, dude. So yeah, Infinite Crisis. I'm really enjoying it. I didn't think I would. I played an early alpha build, and I really didn't enjoy. Is he really quitting? Oh my god. Oh no, he's back. He couldn't have been gone for long.
Forgot my beer.
Oh, okay. So, I've played a little bit. I played a little bit in the alpha, and I really didn't like it because they straight up just ripped off League's Dominion mode. But they've kind of added their own version. You guys should work the backgrounds into your streaming persona. Rob should just be negative all the time, and Phil should love everything. I'll think about it. I love Infinite Crisis. I love Heroes of the Storm. I love Dota. I love League of Legends. This doesn't work. This isn't working for me because I'm being disingenuous. Nintendo is the best, dude. I love that they're releasing a Mario game.
You're such a sheep.
Anyway, yeah, I think we're really enjoying Infinite Crisis.
I am. I want to play more of it.
At the very least, I'm appreciating it.
I am a little bit biased.
Because you're a huge DC fan.
Not only am I a huge DC fan, but I could play as Superman in that game. That's a giant selling point for me.
Right, Wonder Woman. I did miss Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman, Gaslight Batman, Green Lantern,
Doomsday
Harley Quinn, boring-ass Batman.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little bit biased because I can be Superman in that game.
Huge Batman fan, this guy. You know, like, he can't wait to unlock boring-ass Batman. He's so glad he started with Gaslamp Batman. Rob's not the biggest Batman fan. Maybe we'll get to that some episode. I kind of do want to expand the show into talking more entertainment as well.
I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I liked Infinite Crisis. I say we polish off this episode with that 12 minutes of Nintendo Direct. Have some giggles.
I'm feeling that too. I do want to mention Smite before we wrap up. So Smite really impressed me. The core kind of like premise of Smite is that it's a third-person MOBA, in that it's like an over-the-shoulder. So there's a lot of potential in the Green Lantern characters. Yeah, that's true. You're only getting 4 abilities. Like, that's just the nature of the game. You're only getting 4 abilities.
They have 3 versions of Green Lantern. They have Hal Jordan, they have Atomic Green Lantern, and they have Arcane Green Lantern. All two of those are completely made up for the game. I'm not a Batman fan.
Yeah, to be clear,
I like Batman.
I love the movies.
I'm okay with Batman.
I'm big on the movies. Dark Knight is a great movie. It's one of my favorite movies. Mostly because of the Joker, sure. I mean, Batman was always strongest because of his rogues gallery. Right? Do you not like the Dark Knight?
I don't know if you're trying to piss me off.
No. I honestly like the Dark Knight.
Okay.
I really love that
sure.
movie. I own the special edition on Blu-ray.
I'm fine with the Dark Knight. I think that Aaron Eckhart's performance is a little bit overshadowed by Heath Ledger's death.
Sure. Yeah. No. But I think they're both great. Can I
And,
not like them both?
yeah, no, you can like them both. I just didn't know if you were trying to antagonize me.
Um, Alexandra, if you think this is awkward, wait till we start watching the Nintendo Direct together.
Oh boy,
That's gonna get you. I love the Flash more, though.
that's cool.
That's
More power to
fine.
you, man.
Everyone's got their favorite. I mean, some people are wrong, like me, for liking Batman.
No, Batman's fine.
I like
It's
Deathstroke
okay.
most.
It's okay to like Batman.
Yeah, it's okay. It's absolutely okay because he's a
Everybody
great
can
hero.
like-
He's arguably the best hero in all of human history.
So let's watch Nintendo Direct.
Let me finish my point about Smite. So the premise of Smite is that you're playing as gods from a series of religions. You know, you've got Thor, you've got Zeus, you've got Egyptian gods like Ra, and they all come together and they battle it out.
Yeah.
You know, and it plays as a third-person over-the-shoulder, like a third-person shooter, kind of like Gears of War, but no cover.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's really fun. It's really interesting. It's very different from any other MOBA you're gonna play. I've got a few issues with the game. The first of all being that they have no Christian gods. You cannot play as our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, which, frankly, I find very offensive. Jesus Christ should really be in that. Jesus Christ should really be in that game. You know. No, Jesus Christ is not in Smite. He's absolutely not. And we're not messing with you there. Jesus Christ is not in Smite.
He's absolutely not in Smite.
I really wish he was. I'm not actually offended that he's not, but how funny would it be to be Jesus Christ screwing over Zeus? Like, that'd be awesome, dude. You know, you can walk on water. I don't know what powers he'd actually have. Throw wine at someone. Jesus Christ didn't really have any badass battle powers like
If they
Greek
even
gods with
announced
Thor
that,
had.
they would shut that game down in a
Oh yeah,
heartbeat.
yeah, and like it really bugs me that hardcore Egyptian, people are not shutting down the game, and hardcore Greek Orthodox people believe in Jesus. Never mind, they don't believe in Zeus.
We could make a house.
He could make a house. He's a carpenter, dude. He should
can
have
walk
all
on
wood-based
water.
powers.
Can make
And then, of course, the omnipresent God, the Father, the Holy
Excuse me.
Ghost. We
Oh
should
my God.
absolutely have that. We should absolutely have the Holy Ghost as a playable character. He's omnipresent. You play as an RTS, and you just click on people who you want to smite. Satan is not in Smite either. That's another notable omission. Okay. The thing I want to note about Smite, I haven't played enough of it to give a real verdict, but yeah, there are no Christian gods in Smite. There are no Christian demons in Smite. The thing that I really like about it, I haven't played it enough to give it a verdict, but something I really like about the monetization structure is you can rent gods with in-game currency. The champions or heroes in this game are called gods, and instead of buying them all outright, you have an option to rent them for a game with
That's
a
a cool
small
feature.
amount of currency. So you, in essence, have everyone unlocked from the start. Santa is not in Smite. Another great option. Another great god they should add to Smite. The god of
Another
Christmas.
terrible omission.
Yeah, absolutely unacceptable omission. Doomsday looks badass in trailer. Yeah, check out that Infinite
sure
Crisis, dude. It's free to play, like, why not, right?
It's a small.
Anyway,
town.
Smite has I like that little bit of monetization structure. It also has the best feature in any MOBA with items ever, which is that when you try to leave base without buying items, it tells you you're leaving the base without buying any items. There's a little pop-up that just tells you, hey, bud, you screwed up. Maybe back up before you get too far in the lane. Which is a mistake even... Let's look how many hours I put into Dota 2 here. Let's just take a look here at how many hours I put into Dota 2. 890 hours in Dota 2. I still make that mistake.
I don't.
Okay, whatever, dude.
And I've put in roughly half that.
Okay, I don't care.
So
and you're nothing.
I always buy items.
So we show 11:59 and not 12. I want to talk about this. Okay, we show 11:59 and not 12 because it gets confusing when you say midnight Monday night, because that sort of means that the beginning of Monday.
Yeah.
So I say 11:59 on Monday because it's still Monday at 11:59, and technically at 12 a.m. it becomes Tuesday.
Here's the problem, though. What if I get off at midnight from work?
Well, then I'll start without you, and I'll wait for you to show up.
Okay.
It's kind of rare that you're getting off at midnight now, though, right?
No, I still get off at midnight sometimes.
Mondays and Thursdays?
Sometimes.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have a lot of trouble with that.
Sorry. Anyway, move on from
sorry, Nick.
I have nothing to say.
Nick Mansfield said this. Easter Bunny in Smite 2015. I'm Richard Nixon. You said that earlier, and I just want to throw it out there, you know. So,
what the fuck was that?
That was my Ronald Reagan impression.
Pretty spot on.
Let's watch this Nintendo Direct.
Let's watch it.
You guys can watch most of this. We wanted to watch the last 12 minutes of this together with you guys. Who needs money? Come on, Rob. Fight. Why are we fighting?
I don't know.
I don't know why we're fighting. I love you.
I don't know.
I'm in love with you.
Alright, let's watch this.
Say you love me back! Okay.
What?
Fine!
Wait, you
No!
love me?
Yes!
Oh.
Oh?
I mean...
Let's watch this, Rob.
I'm a married man, dude.
That's true. I gotta give you... I'm sorry.
Jeez, put a guy in a shitty position.
Nick, buddy.
Raging Nixon, bro.
Nick, that was the joke, bro.
Bro.
I said Reagan because it was Nixon, bro. All right, let's watch. Shall we watch this?
Shall we
watch this? All right, we're gonna do a 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Everyone, I'm gonna give you 10 seconds to get to this web URL.
No, they can watch it on Twitch with you.
You're right. Okay, so Rob, I'm gonna give you a couple seconds. Are you ready?
Yeah.
We're gonna do a 3, 2, 1 on this. All right.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Hit play.
Unbelievable.
Go full screen.
Show's over, everybody. We're just doing this for fun.
Yeah, this is just for shiggles.
So this is Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Yeah.
By the light of the banana.
I will stop them.
The light of the banana.
Light of the banana. Finish this fight. Halo. This is Halo. Xenoblade Chronicles 3D. What is up, Alpha Megaj? You've joined us right at the end of our show. All we're
just
doing
having
now,
a giggle at this weird Nintendo video.
We are watching the Nintendo.
Let's move on to the new Fire Emblem game for Nintendo 3DS, which we
This is
announced
the
in
Nintendo
last
Direct
Nintendo
from
Direct.
yesterday.
As in Fire Emblem Awakening,
And we're
the
just
main
kinda having a
character will be
laugh at it.
customizable
They're not
avatar
wearing any
created by the player.
shoes.
However, in that game, the character you created was more like a second protagonist, or even a partner for the main character. This time around, for the first time in the series, your created character is the main protagonist of the game.
My character?
Today, I would like to show you a new trailer.
Were we
that
not?
highlights some changes only made possible because the player is now the main hero. Please take a look.
Were we not? Why weren't we? Why wasn't the player the main hero?
I don't know. Oh boy.
Hey, Alpha Megaj, let me tell you, all this is going to be posted to YouTube at youtube.com/thenapkins. Let me post that link in the chat real quick. youtube.com/thenapkins. You'll be able to watch this tomorrow morning, okay? Yokata.
That's the peace-loving Hoshido, obviously.
This is, of course, I don't know which one it is. I don't know who is the...
Of course I'm Gilvizan.
Super Smash Bros. 4 MKA. Yeah, we talked about that earlier, so... Whose side will you choose? Which path will you take? I don't know. I hate... Rob, we haven't...
I hate the Japanese language.
No. It's not that. JRPG trailers are the worst.
They're horrible.
I have no idea what's going on in any of them. And I don't know why they're showing me some of this stuff. They're not trying to ditch Super Mario, they just made Mario Maker.
There we go. Trailer's over now.
Yeah, now we're on to a new trailer.
There are two kingdoms at war.
Oh.
The
There are two-
peace-loving Hoshido and the glory-seeking Norn. It's up to the player to decide which side to take. As always, there are two sides to every story, and in this game, the path you choose ultimately decides your character's fate. No matter what, the world and characters will be the same, but depending on the decision you make, the storyline, battles, and outcomes will be drastically different.
Like,
On the Hoshido side,
The other thing about
experience a
these
more
Nintendo
traditional path as
Directs
you work together with your allies to
is
fend
they just
off
give us all
Northern
these
invaders.
all this information
Because
that we
this
don't really
path
care
story
about.
is more similar to past
Yeah.
Fire Emblem
It's
games.
just too
It's a
much
bit more
information on a
accessible,
game that
even
we
for newcomers.
would much rather to
On the other
just
hand,
figure out.
if you choose the
on our
North,
own.
you'll be forced
Yeah.
to revolutionize an unruly kingdom
We should
from
lit
the
down
inside.
these
The
chapters.
They've also
story will be
shown a
slightly
lot of
more
this
complex,
footage like 3 times
and
now.
the difficulty
I know.
will be more challenging.
And
The
let's
new
get this
Fire
straight. That
Emblem
game
for
looks
Nintendo
pretty. It's
3DS
quite
is
pretty.
planned for a 2016
Sure.
release
You know,
in
that's a
North
good
America.
looking.
Stay tuned.
That's
for
good
more
cell shading
information
right there.
In the future.
Yeah.
You may have heard something about these cards I'm holding.
Oh God, this
We're
guy.
finally ready to show our hand. These
Oh.
cards feature characters from the Animal Crossing series, and you can use these cards in a brand new Nintendo 3DS game called Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer.
God.
The game offers you a unique way to interact with your favorite animals from the series without doing chores. It's all about the home
don't have to
decorating
do
and design
chores.
aspects of Animal Crossing.
We're removing some
In
of the
fact,
core
animals will
gameplay
request the player
aspects
to
from
design a
Animal
house for
Crossing.
them, one that fits their rather specific tastes. Then, it's up to the player to furnish and decorate their homes and meet the animals' request by designing them a home that suits their sense of style.
It's not even my home.
That's where the cards come in.
You're
A new, more
an
portable
interior
form of amiibo
designer.
that doesn't require a figure. If you have an Animal Crossing series amiibo card, you can tap
Oh
it in
my
to design
God.
a room for the animal on the
They're
card.
already giving up on
Designing
Amiibo
that
in a
room,
sense.
you can
They're like,
scan
hey, we
additional
know
amiibo
how
cards
stupid these
to invite
Amiibo
We don't
are,
want
so
to
we.
make any
visit
more
their house,
figures.
and then kick back and watch them have
We
fun.
want
These
it
are
to be-
way
Or
easier
snap
to
a photo.
produce.
In other words,
Martha
Amiibo
Stewart would
cards
be
let you
proud.
experience a different side of the Animal Crossing world than you normally see in the core series. The Animal Crossing series Amiibo cards and the game Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer will be released this fall. We will also release an NFC reader-writer accessory on the same day as Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer. That way, you can scan Amiibo on regular Nintendo 3DS and Nintendo 2DS systems as well.
Thank
We have a couple
God.
more announcements to make on an existing title that Mr. Iwata will cover. See you next
Oh
time.
yes, yes.
Hello again. For today's final game, I have some new information about downloadable content for Mario Kart 8.
They gave us information on this earlier. Didn't they talk about this already?
I think so.
I think I may have watched this earlier, but I'm pretty sure we already talked about Animal Crossing DLC for Mario Kart. No, I watched... I think I skipped forward and watched this, and you may not have seen it. But... I mean, this is good,
What
you know?
are watching
Adding
right
new
now
carts
is the
and
new Animal
people.
Crossing course
Sure.
included in Mario Kart 8 DLC Pack 2. Here you find familiar elements and characters that make this course feel like a piece of the Animal Crossing world. On this
Who's
course,
that dumb? Who doesn't
the
even try to
season
turn?
will change each time you race. Spring, summer, fall, and winter.
I like that they just showed the
Much
same
like
thing
in
for
Animal
spring and
Crossing
summer.
game, you
And then
can
they showed
bask
something different for
in
fall
a
and winter.
variety of seasonal vistas here. Plus, we put a lot of effort into the background music too. The background track is a souped-up racing version of the Animal Crossing
Thank you, King
theme,
Taco. Thank you.
recorded live in studio. Mario Kart 8 DLC Pack 2 will include new racers, Isabelle, Villager, and Driverzer, plus 4 new carts, as well as 8 new courses, including the Animal Crossing course.
So let's
in
see the
zone.
cost of this.
We are happy to announce that instead of in May, this pack will be released on April 23rd.
$8.
In the future, we'll have more
Not bad.
details about the cards
In my
and
opinion.
courses
Yeah, I think that's
that
actually pretty
are
fair.
on the
That's
way.
fair.
But having played Mario
Alongside
Kart,
this release, more Me Racing soon will be
carts
added.
don't change much.
These 9
Yeah.
new
They don't bring a lot
compatible
new
amiibo
to the table.
characters will add
Dude,
costumes.
dude,
to the
look at the
game.
amiibos.
Please try on your favorite one
9 amiibos.
and enjoy racing in style. We have one more announcement for Mario Kart 8. Please take a look.
The Mario Kart series has been a part of many gamers' lives for over 20 years, ever since the debut of Super Mario Kart for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System in 1992. Each entry in the series has featured gameplay that appeals to kids and adults alike by offering 3 main racing classes. 50cc, a class which anyone can enjoy playing with relative ease. 100cc, a speedier class that requires some skill and technique. 150cc, the fastest class, where finely honed skills are needed to compete with the best of the best. But now, 200cc is here.
Oh boy!
200cc. Filthy. Let's get nasty.
Maybe this will add an actual sense of speed to Mario Kart games.
Sunday.
Let's get nasty!
Let's get nasty.
Mario Kart is going faster than ever!
200cc. Disgusting.
That's good.
Free.
Like,
Ever
okay,
since
that's good.
The original Super Mario Kart game, 150cc has been the fastest class. But now, we are introducing you to a whole new level.
Which they've for some reason
200cc.
placed below Mirror.
Because it's so fast.
I don't even know what that
you
means.
have to
Mirror is
have
like
a
the
good
tracks are
racing
mirrored.
skill around
Oh, okay.
tight corners.
Which shouldn't it just be
Mario
last?
Kart, like
Yeah.
you've never experienced it before. This not only applies to the new downloadable courses. Every course in the game will offer a 200cc class. in
Oh really? The
local
kart speeding
and
up
online
still
play.
supports every class.
Alongside Mario Kart
Good.
8
Oh,
DLC
I wasn't expecting them
An
to. This is such a
update adding
pleasant thing.
200cc mode will be released on April 23rd. After downloading the update, you'll be able to enjoy this new 200cc class for free. Whether you think you can handle the speed or not, please try out this new 200cc class of races. That's
All
all
right.
for today.
Confirmed.
Thank you
New
for watching.
shirt. Let's get nasty. Bye-bye.
Let's get nasty.
Let's talk just a wee bit about this, Rob, because I mentioned earlier how these Nintendo Directs really feel like a kids show. They
Yeah.
really feel like
You feel like you're watching Dora.
Yeah, you feel like you're watching Dora the Explorer. It's got like just bright, clinky sounds in between each of these. It's almost insulting to some of their older players who are the only people watching a 48-minute Nintendo Direct announcement regarding DLC pricing and stuff. Only adults are watching these, or like kids old enough to understand it and search YouTube and figure this stuff out. It's just so weird that they make it out to be a kids show. You know, like, I want to go back. I want to go back real quick.
Okay.
Let me open my Chroma history, which I may regret. Oh, good, it's not on screen right now. I was thinking I might regret putting it on, but like, I just want to show. Let's jump back into the story here.
Where are we going?
I'm just gonna hit play. You can just kind of watch along, and you'll be able to imagine what's going on here. So they start with a trailer from Mewtwo, and look at this.
Previously announced, Club Nintendo members who have purchased
It's
and
all very
registered
like
based on
technical
what we have
stuff.
in development.
You can see this here. Like, oh, let's see what's
First,
new in this
we'll be
updated version.
adding
Kids
more
don't care.
costumes for
Kids
Yeah.
don't care about
fighters.
this. So let's skip forward a little more. We've got Lucas in house. No, he's here. That's the other thing I'll bring up later.
This
So
But
when he changes to the next
a
guy.
new Smash Brothers fighter.
So the fighter ballot is something actually pretty cool. I want to talk about this real quick. The Smash Bros. Fighter ballot, you can go onto the Nintendo site and put in your gender, put in any character, like Goku or like whoever. I voted for Paper Mario personally because that makes way more sense than Dr. Mario being in Smash Bros., who is just a reskin of Mario, but for some reason a separate character slot. Put it in the title of the game the character appears in and why this character should become a fighter. Whatever.
In the coming
It's
months,
nice that they're like gonna
the
add a fire
following
based on player
character
choice.
will
That's cool.
join Amiibo exclusively through retail partners. Keep an
New
eye
Amiibo?
out for announcements from these retailers to find out when you can pre-order. I hope is something called Amiibo.
Oh. Do you remember this? Nintendo Tap Amiibo's Greatest Bits? I do want to talk about this a little bit too.
Greatest bits.
No.
No?
This downloadable title.
This was the thing where
this. Yeah.
So, Amiibo Tap Nintendo's Greatest Bits. Bits
Yep.
is a new feature that they're adding. One sec. This is a new feature that they're adding to Nintendo where you can take your Amiibo here.
You
which
have an Amiibo?
My roommate bought, I think he owns 6 Amiibos. So it's freaking working on adults, guys. And you can take these Amiibo here, you can tap them to your Nintendo Wii console. This is my PlayStation Vita. And it'll start a little game.
Touch Amiibo on the Wii U gamepad to unlock gameplay
And you get to play
highlights from
3 minutes
select NES
of
and
these
Super
games.
NES titles.
But it's
Now-
random.
Each demo
And it's
is limited to
randomized.
3 minutes,
So you don't get to choose
you
what game
can
you're playing.
experience the entire
And you
game.
can only play said game for
But
3
you
minutes.
can tap an Amiibo
Purchasing
to
a
the game
Mario
platform
Amiibo
to
does
see
not
how
guarantee
it
that you're
feels.
going to be playing a Mario game.
That way,
You
At
could
all.
get
you can
Metroid.
sample a
You could
variety
get
of
Balloon Fight.
things. The games assigned to the Amiibo you use are not predetermined.
Which he outlines right here.
They are
So,
I think it's a rehash of what Skylanders has done.
Amiibo are $15 a pop. 1-5.
Good God.
$15 a pop. Let's see if it works with my Vita here. Let's boot up my old Vita. Let's open this up. Let's swipe this up. My battery's low, so this might not work, guys, but I'm gonna just... Nothing happened. Oh my god, it took me home. Yeah, it doesn't work. Sorry, Pat. But these
But
things
see,
are...
if I take my old HTC Evo and rub Winnie the Pooh's butt on it, I get an erection.
Jesus! Alright, so these amiibos are $15 a pop. Now, they don't do much right now. You can put them into Smash Bros. And level them up. I don't know what that actually translates to in-game, but you can do that.
Sure.
And now you can use Amiibo Tap, Nintendo's greatest bits, and tap them to your Wii U console and play a bit
How
of...
fucking dare you, Demaster? Do not ever compare Winnie the Pooh to My Little Pony. Fuck you.
Okay.
Fuck you, dude.
Okay. Alright, let's take it easy, Rob. You okay?
No, man. It's a brony swag, dude.
Okay, take it.
Sorry about Winnie the Pooh.
Deep breaths counted. Remember, count backwards from 10. Okay. Now, here's the thing about this. For $15, I should be able to play Super Mario Brothers in its entirety for free. That game is literally 30 years old. And I can play it for free in a browser right now. So I don't know why they don't just make it so you can just play the games. It's just such a weird, stingy practice to me.
How dare you?
You know?
I forgive you. I forgive you.
And I don't dig it. So here's Nintendo Anniversary. They're doing Mario Maker. And...
Mario Maker sounds cool.
Yeah, no,
For
absolutely
more
it does.
updates and announcements. Bill?
Thanks, Mr. Nada.
So
Bill
there was
Trinan here with some news on upcoming Wii U games. First is Yoshi.
You all just saw that transition. Does that not feel like a transition that you'd see in Teletubbies? Ba-ding! Hi guys, I'm Bill. Let's learn how to read. You know, with Yoshi's Woolly World.
Jesus Christ.
I
Nintendo.
get that they're appealing to a family audience, but they can be Pixar. They can be the Pixar of gaming, you know? They can be fun
absolutely.
for the whole family rather than just fun for kids. But they're only trying to appeal for kids, and kids aren't watching this. It's just so out of touch. And the other thing, Pat, you were talking about Pazuzu. You were talking about Iwata and how, kind of funky his voice is. I don't want to rip on him too hard. He's a Japanese man. His first language is Japanese. English is not his first language. But if this Nintendo Direct is in English, we have a president of Nintendo America who speaks fluent English and is a great public speaker named Reggie Fils-Aimé, who could have done... Reggie Fils-Aimé coming on the show in 5 minutes!
We got Reggie Watts coming out later.
It's just so... why not use Reggie? They reference him in this video.
It's just such a weird choice.
I know, and it's I don't care that Iwata's talking. I know Iwata is the president of Nintendo Japan, and that's great. Have him speak in fluent Japanese to his Japanese customers. And have Reggie...
fluent Japanese to us with subtitles.
Sure, that would have been better. It really would have.
Any other option.
It's just so strange.
Potty time.
Anyway, guys, we've been really, kind of peeved at Nintendo. We've once again gone for an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah. Well, last time we went for...
We went for more than 2 hours.
Yeah.
So...
I think we should wrap it up.
I'm thinking we should wrap it up as well. Here's the plan for Monday. And Monday night at 11:59 p.m. is the next time you guys can catch us, okay? So, set your calendars. Set a stopwatch. I've been to Japan 2 times, and most of the people spoke English there. We're so fluent and well-spoken, it weirds me out that this guy is so slow. I mean, I don't care. I don't want to be that guy. But you just have someone better. And that's the point, is that you have someone who is better suited for this.
What?
Jesus Christ. You have someone better suited for this who has already been on camera, already been at E3 press conferences. Anyway, we'll talk more about Nintendo, I'm sure, in the future.
I don't
But
think we can get away from this topic.
yeah, we'll never get away from Nintendo because it's such a fascinating disaster. Gaming SNs, I am the napkins.
Here, wait, put us on split screen.
Yeah, let's do it. On Twitter, I'm at Philip Manser. Rob is at Scoodledaddle. You can follow us on Twitter, and you know, if we want to blast out our SNs, we'll do it.
Yeah.
We will talk about Mortal Kombat X. There was a lot of footage. We will talk about that footage. We'll all watch it by
Talk
Monday.
about that on Monday.
So here's some of the things that's on the agenda for Monday. Let me open up my little topics here. So, there are a couple topics we didn't get to today, Rob. One being remasters. Another being, will there be another orange box? So we'll maybe get to that on Monday, if we have time. We'll probably try to talk about more Smite on Monday. We're going to talk about that Mortal Kombat X news.
We should definitely follow up on MOBAs, because I want to play more of the two.
Yeah.
And Smite.
We'll do a quick follow-up on MOBAs. We're going to talk about... Oh my god, I tapped Warble. I'm going to put this on the screen real quick. I want to show this. I want to show how awesome Google is. So here's my show notes for the 6th. This is Monday. I typed Mortal Kombat with a C, and it says I'm wrong, and suggests I do a K. Is that not... Google, you are the best! All right.
That's awesome.
Anyway, back to the split screen here. We're going to be talking about Mortal Kombat. We're going to be talking about Smite and some of the other MOBAs that we're going to try to familiarize ourselves more with. We're going to be talking about, will there be another orange box? We're going to be talking about remasters and our thoughts and feelings on them. And any news that happens in between now and Monday. Of course, it's Easter weekend. Probably not going to be a lot of news, which means it's going to be a much more opinion-based show, and I hope you guys enjoy that.
Yeah.
So tune in.
Tune in. Follow us on Twitter. Follow this channel.
Follow this channel. And hey, guys,
follow my channel.
Now's your chance.
TV/Scoodledaddle.
He's hosting us right now. Guys, now's your chance. Follow me right now to get your name on screen right here.
Absolutely.
And hear my voice, my real voice, pre-recorded, saying, hey, thanks, bud. Let's see it. Let's see it. I'm waiting for them to flow in. Come on.
Have a great night, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
If you're watching on YouTube, this doesn't work. Subscribing will not make this work. Okay? Thanks so much for tuning in. One more thing. I'm going to put this in the Twitch chat right now. If you want to watch this episode again, you can either tune into this Twitch channel and watch it as a past... Are we doing that? Wait up. We'll do it. We'll freaking do it. But, okay, go to youtube.com, youtube.com/thenapkins for all previous episodes. The first episode is not on Twitch. I screwed up. But if you want any other previous episodes, go to youtube.com/thenapkins, and you can watch the first episode there. Other previous episodes will be posted to Twitch, but as you know, those don't get posted forever. You can watch them on YouTube. Tune in again on Monday at 11:59 p.m. And we'll be here. We're going to keep talking.
You'll be queer.
No followers, no takers. Your name will show up on screen. Everyone will see it. Everyone.
Hey, thanks for tuning in, guys. I've
Absolutely.
been Rob.
And I'm Phil. We'll game you later.
Wow.
That was your idea.
That was horrible.
It absolutely
you should be
was.
ashamed of yourself.
And so should you. Thanks for tuning in. We'll work on it. Okay? We're getting better here. Okay?
Just hit the stop button.
I absolutely will.
Just hit the stop button.